Hello, everyone. Welcome to our latest episode of That's Fair Podcasting. I am your host, Matt.
It's your boy, Bingus.
And it's me, Myles.
Bingus.
Bingus the dingus, you know what I'm saying?
Bingus loves the dingus. We're just going to go over some cult leaders and discuss some of the weirdness that they have given our world.
Yes.
So,
Speaking of weird cult leaders.
stay tuned. All right, I just chose cult leaders. We have a few of those. I keep hitting that fucking speaker. It is 8:06. It is November 22nd, and me, Mark, and Myles are on our last segment of the evening.
Spooky one.
Yeah, just for everybody that watches our YouTube videos, we do change our outfits. I promise.
Yeah.
I've been in the same outfits for 4 weeks.
And if you're going to watch us on YouTube, please subscribe, like us so you can throw us into that YouTube algorithm, and we will pay you back with good fortune.
Maybe.
Whatever the fuck that was.
I mean,
I had zero good fortune.
We'll
If you ask Mark.
Start with the
Charles Manson.
Charles Manson.
That guy.
Let's start with him. We're going to talk about cult leaders tonight. And he's probably the most notorious one.
Yeah, I'd say so.
If you're gonna do it,
do it right.
Do it his way.
Make other people do things for you.
But
right?
his strength was charisma, you guys. I mean, and when I say charisma, he was able to lure a bunch of weak-minded degenerates that really had nothing left. And this is like in the 60s, mind you. This is a guy, we've talked about him.
Oh, yeah.
This is a guy that's been in and out of prison his whole life.
Every conversation, he just rolled a 20.
Yeah, well, no, for real. Yes,
dude.
good reference there.
Yes.
But I do love I think it's crazy the fact that to be a cult leader, you absolutely 110% have to have charisma. Like
absolutely.
You can't be
have to be able. You have to be able to play people, dude. Because think about it, right? Like you're like just convincing people to do fucked up shit, right? Just the weirdest.
Not even that. Just anything.
Anything.
But
so
it's what
weird.
they did.
Like I'm talking hand and knee at any given second.
No, I mean you have these cult leaders that literally make these followers. Like let's say we were manipulated enough to join, which I don't think we are, and here's why. We have a way, and the three of us have a way of recognizing total bullshit. That's why they may be charismatic, but they also have the people he's using that charisma with have to be fucking brain dead or literally feel that, oh my God, something's accepting me finally. Mm-hmm. They need acceptance.
Yeah.
It's spotting the what is it, the weak link. It's the slowest sheep of the herd, you know? And that's what it is. I mean, they're degenerates that have nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take a twig and put it in a bundle and it's going to become strong. So, yeah, if you get a bunch of weak-minded people and you develop a big cult, yeah, you're going to have some shit that you can get done.
Yeah,
you know what
sure.
I mean? And that's the truth, though. I mean, yeah, you can have strength in numbers for sure, which is going to be crazy. But I don't think his cult got that big, right?
It didn't get big numbers-wise. But he had
effectiveness-wise,
effectiveness and like believability.
Yeah,
it was 100% across the board.
Well, I mean, you slap people on drugs and you completely keep them microdosed the entire time that you have them in your possession.
Well, this was a day and age of the psychedelic, and I mean, it really started to take. And these hippies, man, fucking ate it up. And they would start taking these psychedelics, and they literally thought that Charles Manson was taking on the form of Jesus in so many ways.
We're talking, like you said too. We're talking about previously already weak-minded people.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know if you guys have done hallucinogenics.
No,
but it puts you in like a very, very weak state.
Yeah.
Like especially
how much
mentally.
do you believe that you see though? If you've done it, which is okay, but if you've done it and you
I mean, yes, you have visuals, but in a sense, like your surroundings are the same if you're there. And I've always said like it depends on your mindset coming in, and that's what I mean by these people were already weak-minded. And the fact that they were willing to believe whatever this guy said.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So then the psychedelics just enhanced.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
It had to.
The first time I ever dealt with something where I was seeing shit was around the time that like clowns were fucking massive, right?
Yeah,
right.
And I was horrified at this party, right?
Yeah.
And I like booked it outside because I was off my mind. and I ran outside and I was pissing, and I swear I was pissing for like 10 minutes. And dude, I swear on my life, I was staring at a clown this entire time I was pissing, dude. And like finally, like you remember Garrett, he comes out and he's like, "Hey buddy, like you doing all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I just finished pissing." He goes, "There's no way." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You've been out here for like 5 minutes, bro." Like, dude, so I was just outside with my dick out at like midnight, just staring off into the alleyway. Like, that's definitely a fucking clown, bro.
He's over there face to face with the fucking Terrifier.
Yeah. Dude, and then like I remember we moved to the front porch and he had to fucking comfort me, bro, because I was tripping. I was seeing and hearing sounds, and I was like, bro, I feel like I'm in a room, and I remember this blatantly. I was in a room, and I remember we were sitting on the front porch, but all I saw in front of me was a white room and hay bales, right? Hay bales were stacked in like a little...
It's like a weird fever dream.
Right? It's a little strange. But here's the thing. I heard this beat in my head, and every time I heard the beat in my head, a light would go up the side of... the light would go up the side of the hay bales,
okay,
and it would drop down the center, and it would be different colors going up, and then when it dropped down the center, it was bright white, and when it hit the ground, that's when I noticed it was an all white room and just a stack of hay.
You've both then done some psychedelics, some serious ones,
which
is fine. No, that's fine. I'm not.
Definitely sounds like you did.
This is. I'm going somewhere with this.
Yeah.
Actually.
Okay.
So have you both done them?
Yeah.
Now let's say someone with extreme charisma like Charles Manson comes up to you while you're tripping. If you have any memory of being on that, would you actually believe him at that time?
No. Oh, probably not, no. The only thing I wanted at that time, and I will be completely 100% honest, is I wanted to make griddle. That's the only thing I wanted. Like you probably could convince me to do anything if you were like, hey, man, I'll get you a fucking McGriddle.
I mean,
maybe.
Like, not to speak by the book of the cover, but the guy is creepy, dude.
Yo, he is, but okay, then this guy decides to throw some, at that time, hot women at you.
Yeah.
And you can have a fucking harem for a while. Like you can have 2 or 3 women sleeping with you at one time once you're on the psychedelics.
In the state of that mind.
He'll lull. That's how he would lull some of the men in. Like, okay, he would tell these women, seduce that guy.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, in comes Tex Watson, who leads the fucking Sharon Tate murders. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, so that would be his ploy to bring in a man. And to bring in a woman, they were at that time easily more manipulated.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, I'm sorry, every time I think of Tex Watson, I always think of Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But he's like, what was your fucking name?
Rex,
some fucking stupid like that.
But I mean, and then Tex Watson, we've been over this too.
Yeah.
We've done the Sharon Tate murders. Rest in peace. The hottest chick in Hollywood. Sorry. I always say it. Got it. Sharon Tate. Cherry pie. But I mean, so I'm sorry. I was just saying, so he takes these rejects. They go live on Spawn Ranch.
Mm-hmm. I have a very interesting. Go ahead. I'll keep it, but.
And he's starting to talk them into doing some crazy ass shit. The owner of Spawn Ranch was this elderly guy. That guy completely disappeared, and they took over Spawn Ranch. When I say disappeared, fucking vanished. Yeah. His bones are probably still somewhere in the Hollywood or the California hills. And then he takes them on, and they start going on their murder sprees.
Can't have sex with bones. Believe me, I've tried. Not good. No, that's
just a psychedelic talking.
That's a skit.
Fucking nightmare zone.
But no, I mean
nothing but a stove in here. But anyway, so
no, it's cool.
This is my question for you, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say who's the guy that with the Kool-Aid?
That's Jim Jones. We'll get to him.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we are going to talk about Jim Jones.
Yeah.
Hear me out. What if Jim Jones snagged Manson before he started his own cult?
True.
Could you imagine how that would have gone down?
Honestly,
oh my God, I think much charisma.
Pyramid scheme, dude.
Yeah.
Manson. I think when it comes to manipulating, I think Manson would have beat him with the mind game. Yeah. I really do, because Jim Jones was battling a lot of legal issues at the same time. He wasn't handling his legal issues like fucking Manson could.
Yeah. He just realizes Manson's getting the one up on him. He's like, "Would you like a refreshment?" Come on, bro. He would win. He would win. No time flat. If Manson
refreshment, he's like,
obvious.
He's like, "Hey, brother, you need a refreshment," and he just
look.
But knowing Charles Manson, he goes, "What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. So why don't you take this pill first, and we'll do it together."
He would too.
Yeah,
he would bargain with you until you
because Manson, I don't literally think was scared of death.
No, I mean,
Jim Jones was
to have the mindset too, like you said, like of what would be like a narcissistic.
And
psychopath, pretty much.
Yeah. Jim Jones chose the easy way.
Yeah, you wouldn't have. I don't think you would possess the means of even being manipulated. You know what I mean? Being
Yeah.
the manipulator, like you would know the trick inside of it.
Yeah, I don't think cult leaders. I mean, it would be an amazing meeting of the minds.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well
Oh, yeah.
throw fucking David Koresh in there, who we will
Yeah.
also cover.
Yeah.
So
I know it's a little off subject here, but talking on poisons and shit. I know, like I said, this is super fucking coming out of left field here. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but there was a dude that got fucking rat poisoning in his food at Taco Bell, and so one of the employees broke up in a rat trap and dumped it in his fucking food, and everybody in the entire facility got detained, and they eventually found the chick, and she's being charged with
attempted murder.
Yeah.
well, one thing I know is I just got rich off Taco Bell. If that's me,
Yeah,
No shit. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No.
Get back into it. Sorry, I just thought of poison. I was like, damn, that was.
But anyway,
tempting.
you know, to close out Charles Manson's, obviously he was able to manipulate just literally degenerates, just the lowest of society, and like they had mass orgies and shit, and they had drugs, they had sex, they had everything. And Charles Manson made hippies fucking scary.
Yeah.
Hippies used to not be scary, and then Charles Manson ended the '60s. So
Yeah.
I truly think that every human being has the capability of being scary.
Oh yeah.
mhm.
I don't care if you're the nicest person in the world. I have a feeling that you could absolutely be horrifying.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone
And
is
whether-
afraid. Everyone has that dark in their mind, and and some people are scared of it.
Mm-hmm.
Procreation and war. All right.
But I mean, you know, but to top it off, though, obviously, I can't say rest in peace to everyone Jim Jones killed. I think it was 900 plus people that drank that Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
But obviously, Sharon Tate, you know, Abigail Folger, J.C. Bring, Stephen Parent, and then the fifth guy, I don't remember Wachowski. So I don't know. And then, of course, the LaBiancas the next night. So fuck Charles Manson. I just think that it's a situation where I don't see us falling for it, just because, not because we're smarter. It's just that kind of manipulation that we would see through.
I'm sorry, but in this day and age, like, I don't think that I could even possibly have time for a cult. I'd be too bored. I'd be like, you know what? I'm not even interested. I'm sorry.
It's fucked up too, because like David Koresh did that, and that's who we're officially going into now.
Yeah.
But David Koresh would like let's say I was a cult leader, right? Okay, and I was so fucking charismatic, and let's say you guys are weak-minded. You both are far from, but let's say you were.
Yeah.
I manipulated you. Okay, as a cult leader, I just talked you guys into letting me bang your wives. I mean, that's what these cult leaders do. They would I don't know if it was Koresh. I don't remember. One of them
was this Waco.
Yeah, this is Waco.
Waco, yeah.
But one of them, I think it was Koresh, could be the only one to sleep with the women in the entire facility.
Yep. And he was even the only. Okay, but you were still allowed to be married.
Mm-hmm.
There was at one point where I want to say a 14-year-old was getting married in his facility to a fucking like 32-year-old dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was all because fucking spiritual shit.
Yeah.
But still, I do think the way that the Waco thing went down was pretty fucking wild. What that whole incident lasted 52 days, right?
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
And the only reason it lasted that long, and I don't know if you know this or not, Mark, but
I don't know much about Waco, to be honest.
dude, okay, so we have the original VHS tapes from the live airing on the news and shit like that. They literally fucking meat hooked a dude on a helicopter and flew his ass out of there. Okay,
Jesus.
the only reason it took so long to shut this whole Waco thing down was because they were spending time converting a fucking tank into a flamethrower that they ran through the front of the fucking building and set a bunch of women and children on fire with.
Wow.
And it says the ATF eventually secured enough evidence to arrest Koresh, which led to a gunfight that killed 4 ATF agents. I'm going to say allegedly. On February 28, 1993, after a 51-day standoff with authorities, the compound erupted in flames, which led to the death of 76 Branch Davidians, including Koresh. He was kicked out of a Bible school too because of his fucking.
So what was the main story in that? Just some guy who wanted to camp together, pretty much.
He kind of created a compound, and people thought the whole reason the ATF got involved in it is because of his ammunition supply. They were concerned about his ammunition and his weapon supply. They figured that he had something in there that he wasn't allowed to have.
But
so what they did is they set up 2 people. I want to say it was 2 or 3 people to investigate, and they ended up getting involved in it. And they did see some weird shit, and that's why they initially went in for it. But like, I don't know if you know this or not, but you know the game Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they used the house, the compound that he was in for it.
Oh.
Okay?
And I think he was a fucking whack job, personally.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. But like, if they had evidence. Did you know that they already had the evidence when they saw Koresh jogging in town and they did not serve his warrant then? They could have served him so many times before they fucking went to the compound dressed as fucking modern warfare.
Exactly. The only reason that the ATF went full-fledged on this is because they needed to cover up for the fucking Idaho incident.
Oh, the Ruby Ridge?
Ruby Ridge happened just prior to the Waco incident. The ATF needed a fucking W. Okay, that's why they did this. Okay, but what's crazy is if you watch...
Sounds like an L still.
Yeah, and here's the crazy thing. If you watch the footage, there was at one point, and it's crazy because I remember, like, I know this sounds dumb, but I remember going in through this fucking window because I played the facility on Rainbow Six. Mm-hmm. In the fucking footage, dude, there are 3 or 4 members of a task force that was dispatched by the Clinton administration. Okay, 3 of the agents go in, and their remaining agent pops a fucking hand grenade, throws it in the window right after the 3 agents go in. And the next thing you fucking know, he starts blasting his fucking gun in there after his guys just fucking went in there, and then he gets fucking dropped by his own guys. Huh? They fucking covered that up.
See, a lot of it is they don't like. It's probably our government. They don't like people living off the grid. I mean, they literally want you. They want your Social Security number. They want you to pay taxes. It doesn't make what these whack jobs did right.
No, not at all.
I mean, they are fucked up. They are fucked up. But I mean,
you can't fight fire with fire.
What was the guy's name at Ruby Ridge? He lost his wife and his 2 children, like the newborn baby and his wife.
His son was walking the dog. They fucking
his son was hunting, and they saw him with a rifle because he was hunting deer, and they shot and killed him right away.
And then they killed his wife because they thought she was holding a firearm,
and she was standing in the door with the newborn, and the newborn died too. What the fuck was it? Randy Weaver. Yeah. Randy Weaver.
And he, if I remember correctly, he was either military or something, and they wanted him back for whatever fucking reason.
I don't remember that. I just know he was living off the grid. I don't even think he owned the land. I don't know who did, but he was living off the grid, and he had his own firearms. But I think that these were firearms at one time were registered to him before he started living off the grid. Yeah. But once the ATF catches you with firearms, oh no. And then, but Jerry Spence, one of the greatest fucking criminal lawyers, he helped Randy Weaver get a massive settlement for the government because it killed his whole fucking family.
Yeah, I mean, there's no amount of money that can cover up for that.
Yeah, no, but I tell you what, he probably lived. I don't know if he's still alive, but I guarantee he's rich from it.
I'd imagine he would have to still be alive.
Well, that was late '80s or early '90s. It was before Waco. I don't know. It depends on how old he was. It just depends. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we could always find out with a quick Google search, but
would you Google Randy Weaver, bro? Sorry,
but
I can't.
Jumping back into the aspect of the cult and this dude's charisma, it's crazy the fact that he convinced enough fucking people to join him, allowed him to be the only one sleeping with their wives, and there was only I think that
shit don't make sense.
I think I want to say
no.
He died?
Yeah, he died May of 2022.
Oh, so it was fairly recent.
So here's something that you got to think about in this whole situation. I want to say they only had that wedding to basically cover themselves up for being a cult, correct? Yeah, and it was almost a forced wedding.
But they were having weird ass weddings too, though. You would have these fucking really, really old men with marry these really, really young people. And I don't think this is just in Koresh. I'm talking overall.
Yeah.
But they would be, so this young fucking, let's say 17-year-old would marry a fucking 70-year-old because he has all this money. And well, if he's going to be part of the New Order or whatever they want to call themselves, the New Davidians, his money's going to also donate to this cause. So they were pulling in wealth by using people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just flat out the way it is.
And from my understanding, this dude was super laid back, played guitar, sang, held fucking
so did
sermons.
Manson.
Yeah, he held sermons and all that shit.
He called himself Christ. So did Manson.
You got to put the look on. You know what I mean? You got to put this look on of a savior of some point. You know what I mean?
So we always talk about shit about those dudes that you see in the movies that show up to the fucking college opening day with their guitar and they fucking play. Yeah, no, that's the motherfucker that's going to start a cult.
Playing a song, playing a song. Hey, I wrote this song, man. It's called Lesbian Seagull. And it's and people are like, oh my God, that's so brave.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, those are the people that we should be concerned about.
And he's like, oh, are you down on your luck? Literally, he'll go, are you down on your luck? Because I can turn your life around. I mean, I can give you everything you ever wanted. And they're like, how? And he's like, why don't you come with me? He goes, you will never be alone again.
That's convincing, dude.
And he'll literally go like this. He'll go, I promise you, you will never be alone again.
The only cult that I've ever dragged anybody into was the car cult, and I think that was Mark. I think I dragged Mark into that a little bit.
The what cult?
Dude, I fell like fucking face first into that shit.
Yeah, I know. You and I started hanging out, you were driving a fucking Buick. Now you got a fucking CTSV. Or an ATSV.
She don't make any sense.
I fucking talked this man into liking cars so fucking...
Jim Jones. Jim Jones.
Jim fucking
I
Jones.
don't know if I know anything about this guy.
Have
This
you ever
guy's
heard the
like-
term? Oh
Drink the
man,
Kool-Aid.
they drank the Kool-Aid.
Oh, that guy. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's him.
Gotcha.
This is the man that made Kool-Aid what it is today.
We literally
Yeah.
just talked about this. I don't know how I forgot.
That
Fucking
is
5 minutes
bold,
Dude,
Miles. That's
could-
bold, but that's good.
Could you imagine if you had invested in Kool-Aid right before this man started his cult? Oh my god, you'd be a billionaire. Dude, I'm sorry. I gotta take the light aspect on this.
You just see the Kool-Aid man breaking down their fucking compound
Oh,
door.
Dude, could you just imagine that, like, the Kool-Aid manufacturer is like, hey, this guy just bought 900 pounds of fucking Kool-Aid. We're gonna send the Kool-Aid man out there to surprise everybody on this
Yeah.
day. He just shows up there and he's like, oh no! He's like, what happened?
They see all the unfortunate dead bodies, and then they see a dead fat Kool-Aid man as well because he did drink his Kool-Aid.
He was like, whoa, they left some over.
He was like, wow, this is a lot to take in. I better try some of this Kool-Aid over here.
Is that what they mean by like don't drink the punch? You know what I mean?
Pretty much, yeah. No, it is. What happened is that it goes. It sparked the Jonestown massacre, in which Jones ordered a mass suicide by poisoning.
Yeah, and they started with the children, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and then the children were screaming in fucking agony.
Oh yeah, and they knew, and it
Yep.
goes. Members of the cult, including infants and children, were fed in many cases by force a cocktail of cyanide and sedatives that would kill over 900 people on November 18th of 1978. Jones himself was a casualty of the massacre, and a San Diego State University report, the autopsy remained inconclusive. However,
California.
the 47-year-old Jim Jones would shoot himself instead of drinking his Kool-Aid.
So let's see,
Whoa.
two out of
Bitch, dude.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 cults come out of California.
This isn't a state problem.
Come on.
You're reaching.
I am reaching here. I'm reaching.
Did
pretty
Jim
far.
Jones come from California? I think he was from East.
No, I'm not saying he came from California. I'm just saying the cult was
The
in
cult
California.
activity.
Something about the air over there, I guess. All that silicone.
I mean, yeah, those would be the 3 big ones that we cover. But
Yeah.
like, I think it's all about just fucking total charisma. And like, if you watch them, like I'll watch these true crimes, and you'll see smaller ones. Like they call them sects, like SECT.
Yeah, a sect.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Can you pull up the leader for the cult of Cthulhu? If I remember correctly, this dude is still on the FBI and Interpol's most wanted list for human sacrifice. And this is a cult that's kind of flown under the radar, if I remember correctly.
I didn't even hear about it.
Epo.
Is that his name? Or is that the cult?
Say that again.
The cult of Cthulhu?
The cult of Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
It comes up with like some real fantasy-like shit. Is that
Yeah,
right?
most of it is
Yeah,
fantasy.
and it will be. It's very
like
Dungeons
it's
and Dragons.
okay, that's
well,
like
it's H.P. Lovecraft. He was a horror writer or horror novelist. And,
oh, okay.
and-
Yeah, it says Epo. E-POH was the leader of the cult of Tsar and Lyagor
Go ahead. Keep
and
going.
the Cho-Cho people. He's a very elderly man, possibly killed when the Elder Gods destroyed Elazar.
This is not the right cult. But I don't know. I couldn't find a whole lot on this dude. It was hard to find what research.
That's
I
by
could.
H.P. Lovecraft, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So, well, H.P. Lovecraft was a writer.
The author of Cthulhu.
Yeah. So, I did the research on this dude back in like 2015, 2016, and from my understanding, he had a
Castro?
small.
Does that sound right?
Maybe, I don't know. He had a small cult following. It wasn't very large. It was like 80 something people. And he had fucking like 2 or 3 human sacrifices from his cult, and that's what he was initially wanted for. Yeah, he had fucking, from my understanding, just disappeared. Just kind of
Like we would watch these true crime ones. There was one I couldn't even tell you where, but there was one where the guy was, basically they like to call him Father.
Yeah.
Like
how weird is that? You gotta.
Yeah.
I feel like you gotta have, like, no offense and not to trigger anybody, but like I feel like you gotta have daddy issues to want to be called father. You
Well,
know
yeah,
what I mean?
I mean, I think it's an authoritative statement that
Yeah.
allows everyone to know who is the actual leader. I mean,
Yeah.
because like Bingham said earlier, you have to be some kind of fucking narcissist, and I think all that
Yeah.
does is feed your narcissistic ego.
Yeah.
And
To have
that's
some-
the point.
To have some kind of like leader position, you need like a leader role name.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Or-
you want to
or-
be technical,
Yeah.
if you've ever seen The Walking Dead, Negan was a fucking cult leader.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean let's be honest.
And then so was
I've heard some wild
like
shit
Alpha.
about Rick Grimes in
Well-
that TV series.
We'll have to cover that now.
Yeah,
So,
that would
yeah,
be
we'll
a
have
good
to
one
talk about
actually. That would be.
I just want to clarify. I've never fully watched an episode of The Walking Dead.
It's surprisingly good, especially with Negan. But Negan is a cult member because, look, he had all these wives, just like a cult leader. His word was fucking law. Yeah. I mean, his word was law. And if you challenged him, I mean, you disappeared.
What do you say?
Death on sight.
He's like, pardon my fucking French.
I know he goes, well, excuse the shit out of me. Pardon my goddamn French, but did you just threaten me?
Fucking Negan's too good. And then we have to love the fact that they paid homage to Negan in Supernatural when they open up the trunk. They're like, this was Dad's favorite. It's just
it was Lucille.
Yeah.
But I mean, to get back to it, like, you like Taylor Kitsch, who has played a lot of roles. I don't know what you would know him in. Like, if you ever watched the original Gambit, he was the Gambit in the first one.
I was about to say, I know who you're talking about because if I understand correctly, he's the same. Maybe he's not the same dude that plays Mike Murphy.
Taylor Kitsch?
Yeah, Taylor Kitsch, Kait. He is in Lone Survivor. He's the lead role. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
He plays. Did you know that he's in a new movie about Waco? He plays David Koresh.
Yeah.
Looks fucking phenomenal. I want to see it.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was the TV. No, he wasn't David Koresh in the TV series, was he?
I think
Okay.
Yeah, look up Taylor Kitsch, David Koresh.
You know what else he's in? He's in The Covenant.
Yes, yeah. He's Poe, I believe.
Yeah, dude, I totally didn't recognize it. Yeah, he's the dude on the street bike.
If you like series, he's in Friday Night Lights, too. He's Tim Riggins in Friday Night Lights.
He's a good actor. He's underrated, bro.
He's also an American assassin.
Yeah, he is an American assassin. He's the fucking rogue assassin, And because Dylan O'Brien has to go after him.
It's a great movie.
Dude, phenomenal fucking movie.
I have the books in my closet.
Just like him.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
Right? How crazy is it? If you guys have never watched the movie...
Will you keep that and send that to me? But don't send it to me yet. Just keep it in your photos, and then when we're done, send it, because I'm going to use that.
Yeah. If our listeners have never watched the movie American Assassin, check it out. It's a phenomenal movie.
And I forgot the name of the author, but he died recently. One more thing, too. Will you quickly Google... I'm so sorry. Will you... American Assassin author. I know his name.
Yeah.
But I think he died a few years ago. And he was awesome. I mean, those books are badass.
Yeah. Vince Flynn.
Yes. When did he die?
He passed
2018.
Was it? It might be. I just know that when my mom died,
2017 or 2018.
I took all the series of books.
Yeah.
Fucking phenomenal.
It might have been way prior to the
2013.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, so
5 years prior.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I was close.
He's a very Robert Ludlum style author, like the Jason Bourne guy.
Dude, okay. I was having this conversation with Alex. I know we're trailing off from our initial thing. Yeah.
Well, to maybe wrap up.
But we were talking. You guys know who Aaron Taylor Johnson is? Okay, he played the Quicksilver in Captain America. Let me simplify this. He played Kick-Ass in the movie Kick-Ass.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen those.
I'm not.
Okay. Have you seen? Have you seen?
Old now, dude.
Have you seen Bullet Train?
Yes.
With Brad Pitt. You remember the dude that's punching the back of the window out of the train?
Okay.
Okay, that is Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Okay.
He is playing Kraven in Kraven the Hunter. He looks like a fucking beast in that fucking movie. But where I'm going with this is people are nominating him to be the next James Bond, and I'm fucking here for it, dude.
Oh yeah, I could. No, I'd be down for that. I'd be down for that,
dude. I don't know if you've ever watched Bullet Train, Mark. You need to go home and watch it. It's on Hulu now.
Is that with Brad Pitt?
Yeah, it's Brad Pitt. It's fucking Aaron Taylor.
I've seen the scene where like the lady tries to like get him with the injection thing.
Yeah,
and then they like play him back and forth with it or whatever. And
it's one of my favorite scenes in that entire fucking movie. Yeah, we got time. One of my favorite scenes in that entire fucking movie though is when he's sitting there fighting the one black dude. I can't remember his name, but I want to say he goes by Clementine as his
Samuel L. Jackson.
No, but he goes by Clementine, and they're beating the shit out of each other. And there's 2 times where the lady was like, shh, because they're in the silent cart, and they're sitting there trying to fight each other all quiet, arguing back and forth. And like finally, like the lady goes, "Will you be quiet?" And he's like, "Fuck you!" And then he's like, I'm sorry, I'm working on it." like he's like, "Fuck you, old lady." But
anyway.
Caught me off guard.
We are wrapping this one up, but I guess the moral of the story is: if you think the cult sounds too good to be true, then
it is.
And if there are any cult leaders out there that would like to try their best at our rock solid iron minds, be my guest.
Yeah,
I'd probably fall to it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna fall right into that shit.
I have a +7 to my perception checks. So
what? I get 4 grapes, bro. Sign me up.
You're telling me your cult provides turbos? Deal, dude.
Line it up.
If I can sit around and play video games all day, I'm joining.
I'm joining.
All right, guys. On that note, though, thank you for listening, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
We
Give
are-
us a like. Get us into that YouTube algorithm. And I'm outro. Bye.
Goodbye.